Tonight, the Amazon, critical to a healthy planet, is in peril. We travel to the emergency zone in Peru.
What happens in the Amazon doesn't just stay in the Amazon.
Professor Miles Silman has studied the Amazon for all of his professional life. He says the biodiversity here in Peru affects weather patterns, crop growth, and even carbon levels, which is why gold mining here is having enormous worldwide consequences. How bad is it?
It's pretty bad. It's much worse than we had feared.
Luis Fernandez is one of the world's leading experts on mercury. He explains that here in the Amazon, pure 24-karat gold is extracted by using barrels of mercury, which separates the gold from the sludge. Mercury is poison, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's poisonous to humans, to wildlife. It actually persists. It doesn't break down. It lasts for centuries.
6 years ago, the two Wake Forest professors created a not-for-profit, Cincia, dedicated to better understanding and then helping heal this place, which has gone from a vital resource in absorbing the world's carbon to one that pumps ever more carbon into the atmosphere.
The first meter of soil in the forest holds as much carbon as all the trees that are above it. And then when we think about the next meter, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, there can be a whole other forest's worth of carbon down that deep.
Are you suggesting that if we dig down there, we may be releasing all of this old carbon into the atmosphere?
Not suggesting, we really are.
It's carbon leaving the Earth and entering the atmosphere that is the primary greenhouse gas contributing to climate change. The ecological effect has been devastating. More than 370,000 acres of protected forest have been turned into this by mining. Desert, dotted by pools contaminated by mercury. In the region, millions of acres have been lost. And here's the catch. Gold mining with mercury is legal in Peru, but not on protected lands. And it is this illicit mining that pumps more than $3 billion worth of unaccounted for gold out of Peru every year, much of it headed to the U.S. What's fueling this gold rush? Money. The price of gold in 2007 was about $700 an ounce. Today, it's worth more than twice that much. Little wonder various transnational cartels and paramilitary groups have gotten involved, some now making more money trafficking illegal gold than drugs. The situation is seen as so dangerous that the U.S. military has stepped in, providing intelligence to the Peruvian government. This is just the beginning of a massive destruction.
Así es.
NBC News is the first U.S. television network Peruvian Special Forces has permitted to embed with them since the pandemic. They're in charge of this area. It's called La Pampa.
Victoria! Viva!
This is not just an environmental disaster. It's also a real question of national and international security.
Así es.
The Peruvian government declared a state of emergency here, which is still in effect, and launched Operation Mercury 3 years ago. They successfully pushed 25,000 miners out of La Pampa. Despite it all, Silman and Fernandez are hopeful. They've made strides in their reforestation work, figuring out what can be replanted, the largest such enterprise in the Americas. That's a beauty.
This is called caliandra. It's a legume, and it's a survivor.
This was all desert a few years ago, but with their help and a little push from Mother Nature, it's coming back.
Nature always heals itself. It just depends on how long it takes.
Well, if we don't mess it up too much.
Problem with talking to a biologist is I'm thinking nature heals itself on the scales of like asteroids killing dinosaurs and things like that. Yeah, sorry.
Realizing that the Amazon doesn't have that kind of time, the battle to save it continues as the destruction rages on. Cynthia McFadden, NBC News, La Pampa, Peru.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.